Donald Trump's term is collapsing and everyone around him sees it. Marjorie Taylor Greene saw it coming. Republicans threatening to resign see it coming. And now, the worst blow of all. Mike Johnson, Trump's supposed puppet, has turned on him and effectively stabbed him in the back. The MAGA civil war is out in the open. Before we break down Johnson's betrayal, we need quick context on the chaos engulfing the administration, and Lawrence O'Donnell lays it out perfectly.
Now, with Donald Trump being judged a failure in every poll of his presidential job performance, the Trump retreat is underway. And the Department of Government Efficiency, we discovered this morning, no longer exists. That doesn't exist. Office of Personnel Management Director Scott Cooper told Reuters when asked about the Department of Government Efficiency status. Reuters reported that today at 8:37 a.m. And so Elon Musk's indefensible plaything, which produced no government efficiency but did deliver the worst cruelty the United States has ever visited upon people outside of war, is no more. In its heyday, the Elon and Donald show lit up the Oval Office. The room filled with reporters and cameras, and Elon Musk never faced a question from those reporters about what he was doing to the 400,000 children who were dying because of his playing with government, because of what he did to the United States Agency for International Development. Not one question from the White House press corps to Elon Musk about that. There is no more vivid image of the decline and fall of Donald Trump than the image that was created on Friday with Donald Trump slumped in the Oval Office at the desk in defeat, offering a political surrender to the man who stood beside him in the Elon Musk position, a man 20 years younger than Elon Musk and immeasurably smarter, a man who took over that room as no one before him has ever taken over that room with Donald Trump in it. Donald Trump went from calling the man a communist lunatic to glad-handing him publicly like one of Donald Trump's beloved dictators.
Donald Trump caved to Zirin Mandani because he knows his administration is falling apart. Maybe he hoped Mandani's popularity would rub off on him. But the truth is simpler. Trump was overwhelmed. It shows how weak he's become. He's declawed, defanged, and publicly humiliated. The Strongman Act collapses the second he stands next to someone with real conviction. Trump melts every time. He has no threats left to wield, no aura of inevitability, not when his administration is imploding and his approval rating is at historic lows. So now he's just flailing, recycling the same empty promise of a coming healthcare plan, like anyone still believes it. And once you hear him ramble about it, it becomes obvious why Mike Johnson finally turned on him.
Ahead of a vote next month.
We're negotiating with lawmakers, and I've had personal talks with some Democrats. I can't tell you who they are. I just don't want to do that. It's not fair to them. About paying large amounts of dollars back to the people. You know, this was my idea. It came up during that. You know, oftentimes under times of stress, like the shutdown, you come up with great ideas.
Donald Trump feels the walls closing in, so he falls back on his oldest con, promising that everything will be fixed in 2 weeks. It's the fake solution he always reaches for when he's desperate. Now he's pitching yet another imaginary healthcare plan, no details, no substance, just empty words meant to distract from the chaos and the Epstein questions he can't escape.
Mike Johnson just blew that fantasy apart.
Johnson is openly warning the White House that Republicans won't extend ACA subsidies, even though letting them expire would kick 4 million people off their insurance and double premiums for 22 million more. That leaves Trump with two terrible choices: push a healthcare plan his shrinking majority refuses to touch, triggering more GOP resignations, or let subsidies expire and tank his approval rating even further. Johnson wants nothing to do with either option. He knows his speakership and the GOP majority could crumble overnight, so he's effectively telling Trump, no, I'm not doing this. The result is a paralyzed Congress, a lame duck president, and a MAGA movement collapsing in real time. And while all of this is happening, Trump is, of course, focused on more corruption. Rachel Brumino explains what you need to know next.
Seeming to have no idea that Bolsonaro has been arrested overnight, he says, yeah, I spoke to him last night, and we're going to be meeting, I believe, in the very near future. Were you planning on going to Brazil, Mr. President? Because this dude's on house arrest with an ankle monitor. He can't leave home. How are you going to be meeting with him in the very near future? I mean, Bolsonaro, they arrested him like 6 a.m. Saturday morning. He was rearrested for the most far-fetched thing in the world, right? Trying to remove his ankle monitor and apparently, they believe, try to flee the country. And Bolsonaro has come up with a story now that the only reason he took a soldering iron to his ankle monitor is because he said he was hallucinating. He said he was having a nervous breakdown because of a change in his medications recently, and that caused him to start hallucinating on Friday night, and that's what happened. He was basically tripping. And so that's what happened, and he can't be held accountable for his actions. But now here's the president of the United States on Saturday confirming that actually on Friday night, Bolsonaro might have been tripping, but he was talking to President Trump at the time. And they were making plans to be together, in Trump's words, in the very near future. He was under house arrest and about to start a 27-year prison sentence. How are you going to be together in the very near future? I mean, when Trump said that, he must have meant that Bolsonaro was coming to America, right? He definitely could not have done that without breaking off his ankle monitor and fleeing the country and going on the lam. And apparently the president of the United States was like, in on the plan?
So I spoke last night to the gentleman you just referred to, and we're going to be meeting, I believe, in the very near future.
Is that what you thought was going to happen? I mean, in any other presidency, this is like the end, right? This is a show-stopping scandal. A U.S. president who appears to be in on a plan to jailbreak a fugitive former dictator and bring him to America, right? I mean, who knows? Maybe this is all just a big misunderstanding. Maybe it was a different Jair Bolsonaro he was speaking to. I don't know. But with any other president, everything would screech to a halt until this made sense, right? Here, it's just one story today, one more bad news story. As this president, as our president, continues wading through what really is just the worst and weakest period of his own presidency since his own January 6th failed attempted violent coup.
Does it ever end? The corruption, the criminality, the endless stream of chaos, it feels bottomless. And honestly, the answer is probably no. But we're going to keep calling it out every single time. If you've made it this far, you already know what's at stake. Keep fighting. Don't let them silence you. And until next time, stay loud, stay unafraid.